doing, step bro?
Well, that's a very good question because today we are going to be discussing about the rules 20 to 31 of the COLREG, or the International Regulations for Preventing Collisions at Sea. So let's not waste any more time and hop right into it. Let's go.
Rule 20 refers to application. Rules in this part shall be complied with in all weathers. The rules concerning lights shall be complied with from sunset to sunrise. The light prescribed by these rules shall also be exhibited from sunrise to sunset in restricted visibility and in all other circumstances when it is deemed necessary. The rules concerning shapes shall be complied with by day. The lights and shapes specified in these rules shall comply with the provisions of Annex 1 of these rules. Rule 21 refers to definition. Masthead light means a white light placed over the fore and aft center line of the vessel, showing unbroken light over an arc of the horizon of 225 degrees. Side lights means a green light on the starboard side and a red light on the port side of the vessel, showing unbroken light over an arc of the horizon of 112.5 degrees. Stern light means a white light placed as nearly as practicable at the stern, showing unbroken light over an arc of the horizon of 135 degrees. Towing light means a yellow light having the same characteristics as the stern light defined in this rule. All-round light means a light showing unbroken light over an arc of the horizon of 360 degrees. Flashing light means a light flashing at regular intervals at a frequency of 120 flashes or more per minute.
Rule 22. Visibility of lights. The lights in this rule shall have an intensity as specified in Annex 1 to this rule to be visible at the following minimum range. A. In a vessel of 50 meters or more in length. B. A vessel of 12 meters or more in length but less than 50 meters in length. C. A vessel of less than 12 meters in length. And D. In a inconspicuous, partly submerged vessel or object being towed. Rule 23. Power-driven vessel underway. A power-driven vessel underway shall exhibit the following: a masthead light forward, a second masthead light above of and higher than the forward one, and except of vessel less than 50 meters in length, shall not be obliged to exhibit such lights. Side lights, and lastly is the stern lights. Hovercraft shall indicate a yellow light flashing at a regular interval at a frequency of 120 flashes or more per minute. Wing and ground craft shall indicate a red light flashing at a regular interval at a frequency of 120 flashes or more per minute. A vessel less than 12 meters shall indicate an all-round white light for masthead light and stern light and side light. A vessel of less than 7 meters shall indicate only an all-round white light for masthead light and stern light.
Rule number 24. Towing and pushing. Ships can be towed and pushed also, just like land vehicles. Power-driven vessel when towing astern shall exhibit: number 1. 2 masthead lights in a vertical line. 3 masthead lights are required if the length of the tow exceeds 200 meters. Number 2. Side lights. Number 3. Stern light. Number 4. A towing light in a vertical line above the stern light. Number 5. When the length of the tow exceeds 200 meters, a diamond shape where it can best be seen. When pushing a vessel and the vessel being pushed are rigidly connected in a composite unit, they shall be regarded as a power-driven vessel and exhibit lights prescribed in rule number 23. So we need lights when towing and pushing for more visibility and to make other vessels know that we are conducting towing and pushing operation. Rule number 25. Sailing vessels underway and vessels under oars. A. A sailing vessel underway shall exhibit number 1. Side lights. Number 2. A stern light. B. In a sailing vessel less than 20 meters in length, the side lights and stern light may be combined in one lantern or near the top of the mast where it can best be seen. C. A sailing vessel underway may exhibit at or near the top of the mast where they can best be seen 2 all-round lights in a vertical line, the upper being red and the lower being green, but these lights shall not be exhibited in conjunction with the combined lantern permitted by the paragraph B of this rule. D. A sailing vessel less than 7 meters and vessels under oars shall exhibit side lights or stern light. If cannot be provided, it is required to have an electric torch or lighted lantern showing a white light to prevent collision. E. A vessel proceeding under sail when also being propelled by machinery shall exhibit forward where it can best be seen a conical shaped apex downwards.
Hi, I am Cadet JC Aison F. Damulog from BSMT Senior 1 Alpha, and I am here to discuss my understanding about Rules 26 and 27 of the Part C, Lights and Shape. And let me start first in Rule 26, which is the fishing vessel. In paragraph A of this rule, it states that vessel engaged in fishing, whether it is underway or anchored, should apply to this rule. And we have two types of fishing vessel, the engaged and not engaged. When we say not engaged, this is the use of fishing lines, hooks, or we can say trawling. And when we say engaged in fishing, this is the use of nets to catch fish through the surface of the water. And we have two types of engaged in fishing, the vessel engaged in trawling and vessel engaged in fishing other than trawling. So in paragraph B of this rule, it states that a vessel engaged in trawling should exhibit all-round light showing the green over white in vertical line in night, and during daytime it shall exhibit two conical shape with their apex together in vertical line above the other. And if it is vessel more than 50 meters in length, it shall exhibit a masthead light, and if it is less than, then it is not obliged to apply to. And in addition to the prescribed lights in this rule, if the vessel engaged in trawling is making way through the water, it shall exhibit the side lights and the stern lights. Of paragraph C of this rule states that a vessel engaged in fishing other than trawling shall exhibit a two all-round light showing the red over white light during nighttime, and during daytime it shall exhibit two conical shape with their apex together in vertical line above the other. And if its outlying gear is extending more than 150 meters, the vessel is required to add additional all-round white light during nighttime in the direction where the gear is, and during daytime it is required to have a conical shape with its apex upward and placed on the direction of the gear. And in addition to these prescribed lights, when making way through the water, it shall exhibit the side lights and the stern light. The paragraph D of this rule is the additional signals described in Annex 2 to this regulation apply to a vessel engaged in fishing. Now, I am going to discuss the Rule 27, which is the vessel not under command and vessel restricted in their ability to maneuver. So, in paragraph A of this rule, which states that a vessel not under command shall exhibit a 2 all-round red light in vertical line during nighttime, and during daytime it should exhibit 2 black balls in a vertical line, and if it is making way through the water, in addition prescribed to these lights, it should exhibit the side lights and the stern lights. Paragraph D of this rule states that a vessel restricted in her ability to maneuver, except vessel engaged in mine clearance, shall exhibit 3 all-round light showing red over white over red lights during nighttime, and during daytime it shall exhibit 3 shapes showing 1 ball over 1 diamond over 1 ball shaped in vertical line. If it is making way through the water, it shall exhibit side lights, stern lights, masthead light, and the lights prescribed in paragraph 1, which is the 3 all-round lights showing the red over white over red. And when it is unanchored, it is prescribed to show the lights prescribed in subparagraph 1 and 2, and the lights prescribed in Rule 30. Paragraph C of this rule, which is the vessel, a power-driven vessel in towing operation that is severely restrict her towing or the vessel being towed in their ability to deviate its course, and in addition to the lights that are prescribed in Rule 24A, paragraph A, it should add the prescribed lights and shapes in paragraph B of Rule 27, which is the lights showing 3 all-round lights showing red over white over red, and during daytime 3 shapes showing the ball over diamond over ball. Paragraph D of this rule indicates that vessel engaged in dredging or underwater operation shall exhibit the lights and shapes prescribed in Rule 27, paragraph B, subparagraph 1, 2, and 3. In addition to the lights prescribed in this rule, it is required to show the 2 all-round red light or two balls in vertical line where the obstruction exists and two all-round green light and two diamond where it indicates the safe passage for other ships. And when at anchored, the prescribed lights and shape is the one stated here in the rule instead of the prescribed lights and shapes in Rule 30. Paragraph E of this rule indicates that a vessel engaged in diving operation if cannot comply with the requirements prescribed in Rule 27 paragraph D, then it shall exhibit the ram lights or the three all-round lights showing the red over white over red in vertical line and alpha flag which is required to be 1 meter high so that it can be all around visible. Paragraph F or vessel engaged in mine clearance shall exhibit the prescribed lights and shape on Rule 23, the power given vessel, and the Rule 30. In addition to the light, it should exhibit the three all-round green light and during night and three balls during daytime that forming a triangular shape or pattern, and these lights and shape indicates that within 1,000 meters it is dangerous to approach this vessel and it is engaged in mine clearance. So in paragraph G, it states that the vessel less than 12 meters but except the vessel engaged in diving operation are not required to comply with the prescribed lights and shape in Rule 27 or in this rule. Paragraph H or the signals prescribed in this rule are not signals of vessels in distress and need of assistance.
Good day. I'm here today to discuss about rule number 28, which is vessel constrained by her draft, and rule number 29, which is pilot vessels. I'll start with rule number 28. Pertains to a vessel may be constrained by her draft, maybe because of unequal distribution of cargo and overloading. This is why a vessel must be subject to draft survey conducted by the chief officer prior to leaving a port. At day, a vessel constrained by her draft shall exhibit black 3-dimensional cylinder. However, at night, it must exhibit 3 all-round red lights in vertical position. As per power-driven vessel, a side light, a stern light, and masthead light shall be exhibited. Although, in regards to that, a secondary masthead light shall be exhibited if the vessel is more than 50 meters in length. A a vessel constrained by her draft isn't really considered as a special vessel. Um, However, it must still comply with the prescribed rule and prescribed lights so that other vessels may be alerted and may be knowledgeable that she is a vessel that has a problem with her draft and must be kept out of because she cannot alter or deviate away from her course. Let us move on to rule number 29, which is pilot vessels. But first, let us define what is a pilot first. A pilot is someone who is knowledgeable in that particular area that has the skills and capabilities to safely maneuver the vessel upon berthing and unberthing. Although, if the master deems that the decision of the pilot is risky, he can or she can override the authority. Now let's proceed to the vessel engaged in pilotage duty. A vessel engaged in pilotage duty shall exhibit at night two all-around lights in vertical position, the top being white and the lower being red. However, when it is underway, it shall exhibit as well side lights and stern light. Although at daytime it doesn't have a particular shape to exhibit because the word pilot is written on it. And when it is at anchor, the shapes that are prescribed in rule number 30 that will be discussed later on shall be exhibited. When a vessel is coming or is arriving, there is a saying on board that goes white over red, pilot ahead. That is very important to keep in mind because it would serve as a key that knowing that a pilot is going to arrive and we have to get ready and prepared. And that concludes my report. Thank you.
I'm going to begin here to discuss here about Rule 30 and 31 of COLREGs. First, we will discuss about Rule 30, which is anchored vessels. So, anchored vessels have these white lights on the forepart of the ship, and when it is less than 50 meters, there should only be the four white light, which is all around, and when it is more than 50 meters, there should be a stern white light, which is all around too. So here is a illustration. As you can see, there's the four white light forepart on the forepart of the ship, and there's also an all-round white light at the stern part of the ship. And as you can see, this one is higher, the white light at the forepart, than the white light at the stern part. It is prescribed by the Rule 30 of COLREG. So should always be the forepart should be always be higher than the stern white light. So this is the illustration for the anchored vessels when it is only less than 50 meters. So there should only be a four all-around white light at the forepart of the ship. So they also exhibit these one ball at daytime. So next one is vessels aground. Vessels aground has two red lights, and like the anchored vessel, it also has the white light at the forepart of the ship. So it's also an all-round white light. So as you can see here, I also have an illustration. You can see there is two red lights right here, and a white light at the fore part of the ship. So why is there also a white light? Because this is more than 50 meters. So when it is more than 50 meters, there should be a white light at the stern part. So white all round white light at the fore part of the ship, and all round white light at the stern part of the ship, and two red lights. And that would change when it is 50 meters, less than 50 meters. And there should be only two red lights at the stern part of the ship, and one white light at the fore part of the ship. And it also has three balls when it is daytime. So Rule 31, seaplanes. Where it is impracticable for a seaplane to exhibit lights and shapes of characteristics or in the position prescribed in the rules of this part, she shall exhibit lights and shapes as closely similar in characteristics and positions as is possible. So, in summary, seaplanes have these lights where, as prescribed by COLREGs, they should be closely similar in position and characteristics. So here is a illustration for a seaplane. As you can see, it's the starboard part. There is a green. It is green, and there is a red light at the port side, and there should be a white light at the stern part. All for rules number 30 and 31. Thank you and have a great day.